Hello, class. Glad you could make it. Welcome back. Hope you all enjoyed the class outing that we put together at the Pebble Beach Resort. The golf was wonderful. We sort of hacked up the course. Most of you conducted yourself very well. There were a couple of you that got pretty drunk on the hosted bar and kind of became very foolish, but that's okay. That's how we do that here. That's how we roll. Hey, today's topic is, how do you find a real estate agent if you're going to sell your house? This is more for a consumer than it is for the business. How do you pick a realtor? Well, there's a couple ways to go about it, and probably the most direct way is look around your neighborhood. You'll see realtor signs here and there, and you'll see some more than others. Well, sometimes if a realtor is taking a lot of time and spending doing some work in your neighborhood, what it could mean to you is that they know a little bit more about values there. They kind of, if you're in a tract, they know the model home you live in and what they're selling for and all the rest of the stuff. So that might be a good person to call. Of course, if you go with Purdy's intersection of business and friendship, you must have a friend that's in the real estate business. And if it's a friend that's ever done business with you, that you've done business with them, I should say, then you call that person too. And you say, hey, I'm thinking about selling my house. What you're doing is you're going to have a meet and greet at your house. And you're going to invite these people at different times to come by and introduce themselves and show you what they're all about. I usually recommend 3. You find the one that's very popular in the neighborhood. Obviously, a friend. You must do that. If you've done business, they've done business with you, you've done business with them, you have some kind of relationship, and you have an obligation, in my opinion, to give them a shot. And then you might pick a third one from, I don't know, somebody you saw advertise. Advertising can mean a lot. And the most important piece of advertising there is this. It's a business card, and it's going to tell you all about the person when they arrive at the front door. For starters, when that first guy comes to the front door, if he's wearing a Hawaiian shirt, he's going to a luau. He's not coming to a business meeting. You're talking about business. You're going to sell your property, and he's going to make maybe as much as $10,000, $20,000 from you. So you'd like to think it's somebody that has business in mind. Now, some people take pride in wearing cowboy hats and different gimmicks like that, and it's kind of like their trademark. But keep in mind, this is a business transaction. So let's look business-like. Secondly, is what does the card say on it? Expert negotiator. Wow, look at that. Expert short sale. Expert on everything. That's a good card. This guy's an expert on everything. Don't pay much attention to those things. Most of these titles can be gotten by taking an hour or 2 course down at the Board of Realtors, and then they give you those certificates. So that doesn't really... Oh, here's a good one. This one. Luxury home specialist. Is your home luxurious enough for somebody like that? What's a luxury home specialist do? I guess they follow you through the luxury home if you're a prospect and make sure you don't touch things or steal any of the objects d'art. That's all I can imagine. Maybe you take your shoes off when you enter. I don't know what the luxury home, I don't know what any of that stuff means. Now, it's important you want to have one of these suspects, a small dealership, or possibly he's the principal. The reason that I say that is you need to have flexibility because you're going to be asking them to provide some service at a cut rate. And that's a very important topic. Another thing is pictures on a business card. Got a picture on a business card? I don't know. They say, the experts say, if you do a resume, it's absolutely totally verboten to put a picture on a resume. And I don't know, business cards, I'm ambivalent towards that. It depends. If you're young and good looking, why not put your picture on there and show people that you're vital and you're active and you're a good person, and maybe you want to tell people that you're a Caucasian. I don't know. Me, I just put my name on there. Maybe when I was 25, I would have put a picture on there. Then you got the advertising ones, the people that come by your house and they put stuff on your door. You're still in the culling process. They put stuff on your door. I got one guy that puts stuff on the door that shows him lifting weights. I will lift the weight off your shoulders. What he really wants to do is show off his muscles. Another guy rides a bicycle. I'm riding a bicycle for success or something. Forget all that crap. There's only so much you can do. And the point I'm trying to make is you want First, you want to meet these guys and girls, 3 of them, and you want to learn what they're all about, see what they look like, see how they present themselves, see if they're professional, see how they talk. If there's a lot of D's and Dems and we ain't doing this and that, I think I'd probably forget about it. So you got your 3, and you sit down for a meet and greet session. Well, what do those 3 people possess as far as selling your home? What tools does one have that the other one does not have? Well, the first thing you're going to discover is some of these people that work for large dealerships will roll in, and they'll say they're part of the Tommy Grimfackle team. And you look down below, and it's Tommy Grimfackle team is part of a big brokerage that everyone's heard of. What does a team mean? Well, it means that Tommy Grimfackle has assembled a handful of people, usually newbie agents, wannabes, to run all his errands and do all his legwork for him. He calls it a team. He might have a transaction coordinator. You don't need a team. Real estate is this individual sport. You don't need a team. That's all BS. They're trying to create a situation where it looks like they're bigger than they are. Further, if they're a team, but underneath you say the team, and it has the name of a big real estate company, if they want to be a team, let them go rent an office. That's how we do it at Bay Valley. We're a team. We rent an office just for us. We're not part of anything else. So beware of the team. Beware of the titles on here, the experts in this, and take a look at the picture. You'll find that usually the picture is anywhere from, I've noticed, anywhere from 20 to 40 years old when they put these pictures on there. So there's that. Well, you're meeting the 3 people and you're sizing them up right away. Do they speak well? Do they carry themselves well? Are they dressed well? What are they driving? You don't have to drive a Mercedes-Benz. It's a block long. You can drive a Ford Fusion as long as it's neat and clean and looks professional. And if these people act and talk professionally, you're going to make it very clear to each one of them that I want to meet you, and then I'd like to have your presentation. In the presentation, I want to have at your office. Well, that's going to call some of them up because they don't have an office. There's a few dealerships that are strictly online. Their office is Starbucks or In-N-Out Burger or anything like that. I think I'd scratch some off my list too. I'm extremely old school about those things. We pay money for the sticks and the bricks at these places. We pay money for our fantastic golf outings for our staff at Pebble Beach and the trips to the Caribbean and all these kinds of things we provide for our agent. You don't believe any of that either, do I? But to make a long story short, what can these guys do for you? You're going to find that out in the second meeting when you meet them at the office. You're going to walk in and say, what's your program for my house? And they're going to show you their comparables. I've got these comparables right here. Look, here's one that sold just down the street. It just closed 3 weeks ago. And this one's, sold for $399. Same floor plan as yours. You say, well, yeah, but, they didn't have a pool. Okay, we'll add $10,000. So we're going to sell for $409. And that's how they go about it. Then other people will go much, much more in depth, a much larger thing. They want to show you all about the whole world of real estate. All you really want to do is find out what that darn house is worth, period. And the next question is the most pregnant one you're going to have in the whole day. How much is it going to cost me? Well, most of them are going to say 5 or 6%. And if they're with a big company, they really don't have much leeway in that number. If you have a small guy like us, we can negotiate. I've told lots of people I can sell for free. I can sell and give you $100 at the close of escrow if I wanted to. And that's one of the benefits for being a small shop. Now, they're going to try to convince you that they have a secret horde of buyers that are just theirs. That's why you should use them. I work the area and I've got tons of people that I work with and so on and so forth. Usually that's not true. They're trying to show that they have a benefit that other brokers don't have. So you're still back to square one. How much is it going to cost me? Well, you start negotiating right away. Okay, well, 5%, 2.5%, 2.5%, so on and so forth. Next question. How are you going to sell my house? Because you know in your head, because I'm telling you, that every single one of these people has exactly the same avenues. Precisely the same avenues of selling your house. They're going to act like they have the secret buyers and they got this and that. And, oh, I know people coming in from, Honduras, whatever. That just I know and they're going to buy. It's all BS. Don't listen to a word of it. How are you going to advertise my house? Why, we're going to put it on Metro List, Fantastic. Metrolist. That's free. It doesn't cost them a dime. What about signage? Well, I'm putting a sign in your property. Well, if you have a company do it, it costs 35 bucks. If they do it themselves, it doesn't cost a penny. So far, we're at net zero. I want some internet advertising. What can you do for me? Well, our company has an internet website, and we'll put it on there, and we'll put it on my website. Good. That's a start. Again, zero cost. But you know something? I want something a little bit more. What about photography? Well, I'll go through. I have a very expensive Nikon camera, and I'll go through and I'll take gorgeous photographs, and we'll put them up on our website. Again, zero cost. You're trying to get that agent to spend money and become involved with your listing. Here's how you spend money. You hire a guy for 400 bucks that comes by and does a virtual tour. I use one that's got a drone flying around. He flies the drone around. It shows the neighborhood. There's the deli over there. There's the church. There's the school where all your kids will graduate. All that stuff. Then it flies in and it lands by your house. Then he does a walking tour through the house. That costs about 400 bucks. I just started using the drone, as a matter of fact, so the example I'm going to show you doesn't have one, but it's still a professional marketing tool. You want this hanging from your sign out there. A website. I want a website just for my house. Oh, well, it's going to cost them a couple of bucks. It's going to cost them about 400 to have the virtual tour done. Oh, and furthermore, I'd like you to list my house on Trulia. I'd like to be the featured listing on Trulia. 65 bucks. Keep going. You know, I think all my neighbors might have friends that want to buy the house. So I'd like to have a postcard mailing done to my 500 closest friends in the neighborhood. There's more money. There's a couple $100 going on there. What you're doing is you're trying to get this agent to commit to spending his own money on property and also investing in the success of your listing. So once we got all of those points, he may say, well, I'll pay you, pay for those, and then I'll pay you. But no, because we might go with you and you might do all this stuff and it might not sell, and I don't want to have to pay for it. That's your problem, not mine. So we're back to square one. They agree to this. Let's say they come along and they have a fine sign writer. Looks like this. They cost 18 bucks. That'll go on there too. They might have a thing that says, I'm gorgeous inside, which tells me you're saying, well, it looks crappy on the outside, but I'm really good looking on the inside. You know, like the girl, you know, she's really a nice person, you know, but she's ugly. Okay, that kind of thing. So we got somebody to commit to a few things and move forward with your transaction. So at this point, you've got your 1, 2, 3. You're going to lose one or two of them because they're not going to make those kind of commitments, but you're going to find the one that's willing to do it. Then we put it on Metrolist. Very important. I will not allow a coming soon sign on my property. We've talked about coming soon. It's a thing they put up there, and you know, they try to get both sides of the transaction by coming soon, and it's BS. It's crap. I won't allow that, and the very minute I sign that listing, I demand to have that put on Metrolist immediately. So we've negotiated the fees. If you can get them down to 2% for the listing fee, and you're going to have to pay the selling agent 2.5%. That's 4.5%. That ain't bad. And if they're willing to spend money marketing, that's good too. So you're on to something good. But that thing must be put on Metrolist the very minute it's available. Your responsibility as a seller is to make sure it's easy to look at. I mean, really easy. None of this stuff, call, make an appointment. Oh, it's not convenient. My wife has a headache. 1 o'clock. That means we're almost done with this lecture and we can go to the swimming party after this. Well, you want to make sure your responsibility is that you make that house really simple to see. I mean, really, really easy. Put a lockbox on it. Oh, I don't want a lockbox. I have very important objects d'art. Oh, my husband. No, forget all that. It's got to look like a model home. It's got to be clean as can be, and it's got to have a lockbox on it. You might have a customer driving around, some people from Broken Pelvis, Iowa. They drive by your house and say, oh, that one. that one's beautiful. We'd like to look at that one. You want to make sure that they can see the damn house, because that's your responsibility. Make it easy to see. Put a lockbox on the property. Be accessible. Be willing, if they call up and you're home, be willing to take a drive around the block while they look at it. You're not going to trail them through the house and say, oh, look at the wine. We have a wine storage over